Alright class, I have a wonderful lab activity planned for you for today, but before we do that, I want to teach you some specific vocabulary words that you will see in the lab activity. So the first word that you will see is the word sphere. Repeat that back to me, please. Sphere. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Sphere. Now a sphere is a ball-shaped object like this. It's round and it's three-dimensional, which means it's an object that you can hold. It's not a drawing. It's a physical three-dimensional ball. Now a sphere, if you put it on a table, you can roll it in all directions. That's because there's no edges and there's no corners. It's curved the whole way around. What I want you to remember is that a sphere is a ball-shaped object. So when you hear the word sphere, I want you to do this, like a ball. Practice this with me, ready? A sphere is a ball-shaped object. Repeat that back to me. A sphere is a ball-shaped object. Here's how you would use the word in a sentence. A bowling ball is shaped like a sphere. Or you could say, a bowling ball is spherical. Repeat both of those with me, please. 1, 2, 3. A bowling ball is shaped like a sphere. 1, 2, 3. A bowling ball is spherical. Here are some examples of objects that are spheres. A baseball is a sphere. A soccer ball or football is a sphere. The earth is a sphere. An orange is a sphere. Every time you hear the word sphere, I want you to do this. The next word I want you to learn is cylinder. Repeat that, please. 1, 2, 3. Cylinder. Now a cylinder is also a three-dimensional object. However, a cylinder is curved on one side, but flat on the top and bottom. Cylinder is curved on one side, but flat on the top and bottom. Now a cylinder, if you put it on a flat surface, it can roll only in one direction. Remember, a sphere can roll any direction, but a cylinder can only roll one direction. And that's because it has two edges. It has two edges. The edges are on the top, around here, and on the bottom, around here. Cylinder. When you hear the word cylinder, I want you to do this. And imagine you are rolling a cylinder forward and backward. Cylinder. Let's use this in a sentence. A can of food is shaped like a cylinder. Or you could say, a can of food is cylindrical. Repeat this sentence with me, please. 1, 2, 3. A can of food is shaped like a cylinder. A can of food is cylindrical. So here are some examples of cylinders that you have seen before. A can of fruit is a cylinder. because it has flat on top, flat on bottom, and the side is curved. A log is a cylinder because it's flat on top, flat on the bottom, but the side is curved. You can roll a log in one direction. You can roll a can in one direction. So now let's play a game called Sphere or Cylinder. Please look at the teacher window in the bottom corner. In orange, is an orange a sphere or a cylinder? An orange is a sphere. You can roll an orange in any direction. It has no corners and no edges. It's round the whole way. It's a sphere. What about toilet paper? Is it a sphere or a cylinder? Toilet paper is a cylinder. You could roll it in one direction, but you can't roll it side to side. You can only roll it in one direction. Toilet paper is flat on the top and flat on the bottom, and it has a curved face on the side. Toilet paper is a cylinder. A can of pop or can of soda, is that a sphere or a cylinder? A can of soda is a cylinder. A can of soda will roll in one direction, but it will not roll side to side. A can of soda has a flat top, a flat bottom, and it has a curved side. A can of soda is a cylinder. Baseball. Is baseball a sphere or a cylinder? A baseball is a sphere. You can roll it in any direction. There's no edges and there's no corners. It's round. It's curved the whole way around. A baseball is a sphere. Do this with me and say it with me, please. A baseball is a sphere. The next word that I'd like you to learn is circumference. Circumference. Please repeat that as I say it. 1, 2, 3. Circumference. Now, when you think of circumference, I want you to think of the distance around an object. The distance around a curved side. The circumference of a sphere would be the distance around the sphere. The circumference of a cylinder would be the distance around the cylinder. Please do this with me. Do this motion and say, circumference is the distance around. Say it, please. 1, 2, 3. Circumference is the distance around. Now, when you do the circumference of a cylinder, it has to be the longest distance around, right at the middle. If you measure right around here, look at this drawing, please. the circumference has to be the long way around the cylinder, or I'm sorry, the sphere. The circumference cannot be the short way. It has to be the long way. So when you find the circumference of a baseball, remember, a baseball is a sphere. You measure the long right in the middle. So here are some examples of circumference. The equator is the circumference of the Earth. Please repeat this back to me. The equator is the circumference of the Earth. 1, 2, 3. The equator is the circumference of the Earth. A person's belt is like the circumference of a person's waist. Repeat this back to me, please. A person's belt is like the circumference of a person's waist. The last word that I'd like you to learn is the word approximate. Approximate. Please repeat that back. 1, 2, 3. Approximate. Now, approximate means to guess or to estimate. It means to find something that is close to, but not exactly the same as something else. This symbol means approximately equal to. So for example, you could say 4.01 is approximately equal to 4. 4.01 is approximately equal to 4. Please repeat that for me. 4.01 is approximately equal to 4. Now this means 4.01 is close to 4, 4.01 is about 4, or 4.01 is around 4. It just means it's an estimation, it's a guess, it's close. So when you use approximate in a sentence, it could sound like this. A sphere can be used to approximate an apple. A sphere can be used to approximate an apple. They're close. They're not exactly the same, but they're close. Or you could say a sphere can be an approximation of an apple. Repeat that back to me, please. 1, 2, 3. A sphere can be an approximation of an apple. You could also use approximately. So you could say the volume of an apple is approximately the same as the volume of a sphere. If you look at this picture, you could say the apples are all approximately the same. When you look at this picture, you could say there are approximately 10 students in the class. There are not exactly 10 students, but it's about 10. So I want you to remember sphere, cylinder, circumference, and approximately. And this part is for Dr. Rutledge. This is my student profile. Paolo, I highlighted in green the can-do descriptors that I used in this activity to meet Paolo's needs, and this is my rationale.